So let me show you what we're gonna build in this section. So if you have been building an e-commerce site, or if you are surfing the net and buying online, then you might be heard of Fipkart.com or Amazon.com. So the feature in this e-commerce site is that whenever you search for any product, then it will show you the list of product name in autocomplete in input field. As in Fipkart, you can see whenever I'm tapping guitar, it's showing me all the category listing, product listing in input field below the input field. Also in Amazon.com, you can go and you can type a guitar, and then it's showing all of the product and category detail in here below the input field. Actually, this is not showing. This is not as a select showing in a drop down. It's like it's populating in a below field from Ajax repeat. So that's what we're gonna build. So this is what we are gonna build. I made this basic UI for product finder. So go here, whenever you type Samsung, it will show here list in here, and whenever you click it, it will be selected. So this is what we are gonna build. So this is a basic installation of Laravel. The version I'm using is Laravel 7. So go to your browser, solve it. It's a basic installation. Now what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need a basic route, and then I'm gonna need a basic page for here. So for that, let's go to my terminal. Then first of all, let's create a controller for it. PHP artisan make controller, and then let me call it autocomplete controller. Autocomplete dash r is for resource. It will create a functions, resource function like index, create, delete in your controller file. So after that it's created. Let me check it. Go to app, http controller, there is autocomplete right is created. Now go to your wave.php. Now create a route for it. So I'm gonna need first route called homepage. We'll just copy paste it. So I'm gonna need a basic, let's remove this. I'm gonna need a get request slash. Whenever I type slash in a URL, then it will go to autocomplete controller, then index function, and this is a homepage named route. So autocomplete controller will return view homepage page. So this will goes to resource view, and then create a file called homepage.blade.php. Now just let me test it. Go to your browser. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, name is not right. Now go to your browser. Yeah, it's working. Now I have created a basic layout design. Let me copy paste it because it's gonna take a time, so I don't think that is necessary to show you. So this is the basic I created. So there is nothing much in here, just type 4. So now what we want is whenever we type something in here, it should show product list as in Fipkart and Amazon.com. So like whenever I type mask like laptops, it will show all the product and category detail laptop. So for that I have created a SQL file. It's on AutoSource TV and then my table. So I have exported this file, SQL file, in the project. The name is mytable.sql. You can import this. To import file, just go to your PHP and go to SQL. Then go to import and select the file and press export. Import. So that's it. So after that, whenever I type something in here, I need to fire an Ajax function, Ajax call. So for that we need a CDN for Ajax, and so I have already included that in here, Ajax CDN. So be sure to include this, because without this it will not be working. So whenever I type something in here, we need to fire an Ajax request. So for that we need a different new route and new function in our controller. So for that let's go to our web.php and create another function. Let me call it product / list, and autocomplete controller, let me call it like list and product list. The note that it will be a post request. So product list autocomplete controller list autocomplete controller. Let me create a new function in here. Let's call it list and let's check it's working or not. Now go to your file and the end of it, create a script tag. So what we need is a jQuery, start jQuery here. So for that whenever document dot ready, we need to fire so let me so whenever this is a Ajax basic Ajax syntax, and whenever you so this is a basic syntax. So whenever this product.keyup, this is a event handling in jQuery. You can search for that on YouTube or Google. Whenever product.name tag is whenever you type something in this input field, and whenever I'll just press it, press a key, then this event will fire. So my input field tag, let me show that this is the input field. I have given it an ID of product underscore name. So whenever jQuery is on jQuery dot I'm firing, whenever I'm typing something in here, pressing key up, I'm firing an event. So let me show that if it's working or not. So go to your browser and sorry for that. Yeah, it's working, right? So whenever I'm typing M, it's working. Type again, it's working. Type again, it's working. So how it works is whenever it's work on a key press, each key stroke, so it's working. So what we're gonna need is whenever we type something in, press key up here, we need to fire a Ajax request. So for that we need this product list and controller list. So whenever I'm typing something in here, it will fire an event from Ajax, and it will go to a controller, and we're gonna response from here. So now we're gonna need. So now the key of event is firing. We need to catch the value some customer is typing in here. So for that, go to your this inside key of event function. Now make a variable called data, and this dot val. So just allot it. So let me show you what it does. So whenever I type A, it's catching the value from input field whenever each keystroke is fetching and each key event is firing. So now whatever we're typing in our input field, we're getting that value on a variable just we created data. So after that, let me create a small check, because we need to fire Ajax request only when this field is not empty. So for that, let's add a small check. If data is not empty, then fire our code. Sorry, it's always easy, right, with Laravel. Alert testing. So it's not firing in starting, but whenever I type something, now it's firing. So before that, whenever I'm loading, it was firing. So that was the issue we're solving with just this small check. So now after that, we need a token, because if you are familiar with Laravel, whenever you are submitting a post request, we need a CSR token. So add the CSR token in here and get that value in here in your Ajax request by this. So let me always duty. So we can get this value by input name and token. So let me alert that if we are getting that CSR token value or not. Yeah, we're getting a CSR token. Now we need to fire our Ajax request. So for that, $.ajax on we need this one, and then so now inside Ajax we need URL. Our URL is route, then what we created product, insert product dot list something, product list. Let me check it. Product dot list. So you have to use this name route. You can also use URL in here. If you are using URL here, I'm using a route, so I have to use a name route. That is, this is the end of a. But if you are using URL only, you can write this / with /. So in Ajax request, after URL, we're gonna need a method. So this is a method post, and then we're gonna need a data we're sending to our controller. So in this case I'm sending data as data. So this is the data. In data variable data, I'm getting a value from this input field, and also we need to send our CSRF token. So we're sending this token and data. So if success in our Ajax request, we need to fetch record from Ajax, our controller here. So our response from Ajax from controller. So just go to autocomplete and here GT this. So now go to your file, go to your page. Now go to your network tab. Now whenever I type something, Ajax request is firing. So if you open this in new tab, so in our Ajax request we can see that it's on 200, that is success. So it's working. So now we're hitting our controller. So let's write a logic in our controller. So for that, what you're gonna need is open your controller and open your file. So if request data so we need request, then dollar request. Suppose request, so in that also let me show something for you. Go to your browser, open Ajax, write something, open a new tab. Now if you request get data, data is a variable we're sending from here in data as array. So if we have a data from our view, then we're gonna get a variable name. For that, data is equal to request dollar request get data. Note that request get data in home page we send variable data, where this data variable stores the value from our input field. So in autocomplete controller we're getting that variable data in our data variable. So we're getting that data input field value in data variable. Now we need a query builder. DP, this I'm calling it a facade. So whenever you're typing, import your DB, otherwise it will not work. So DB table my table name is my table, where title like percent of data we're getting, and let's get that value. So what we're doing here is we're querying. My table is our table name. There is a field called title. So whenever type something like Samsung, the Samsung data will be coming in here. Data S, type something S will be recorded here, and it will fire a query builder, and it will query like my table. It will source a table where title is S in the case of Samsung. So after that, but before that, check your env file for your database credential. So in my case, my database name is AutoSourceDB. So give that name AutoSourceDB, and my username is root and password is blank. So let me die and dump and check the value if it's coming or not. So go to our Chrome, our browser, and go to our network tab, clear everything, type something. S3 is showing all the data. So open it as in a new tab. Sorry, it will not show like that. So it's showing in here, so that's fine, right? So whenever we're typing something, it's getting a data and it's showing in here. So it's working till here. So now what you're gonna need is we're gonna output it. Now for that, we're gonna use a HTML tag. So we make a variable, and I'm giving it a UL. We're gonna create a drop down with this class and this style property. So just die and dump if it's working or not. Type something. Yeah, it's showing our div tag with the created. So now the logic is whenever type something, user will first get an input from user, then it will create a query or database and we'll issue that in this variable. So whenever we're gonna loop through all the result data, and for that we can use this. I'm saving time but not coding. So for is data as row. So whenever this query builder data as row, we're gonna create the output and we're gonna append in this variable li. We're gonna append li into this ul, where this is a basic HTML tag, but we're getting a value from row title. That is, we're gonna store this title we're getting from this query builder to this li and put this li to ul. So after that, we're gonna output, close this ul tag, and then our create. Then we're gonna response this output. So let me output Samsung. Sorry, if not work. So we're getting that our data result and we're putting that in li. We're creating a ul and li. We are looping through each data and creating our li tag, and where li we're showing row value of title, database title value, and appending this li to our URL, and we're sending out this response to our returning back value to our homepage.blade. So in success, we're gonna need we're getting our data from here, this output as a data. Then in home page we're gonna populate this div. Currently we have a blank div in here, product list. We're gonna populate that div. So public product.list.html data we're getting from our Ajax controller. So go here, type Samsung. Yeah, we're getting something, but it's not working as a good CSS, so we're gonna fix that. So for that we're gonna add a small effect called fade in. So we're populated our this div with the data we're getting from our Ajax request. So after that, what we're gonna need is, whenever we click on our listing list, we're gonna set this value, this input field product name value, to the value we're getting from our Ajax request, and we're gonna product list, we're gonna disappear this tag, this div. So add this list, this. So let's see what's going on. So whenever we're typing Samsung, it's appearing in here. Whenever we're typing laptop, it's working in here. Whenever we're typing guitar, yeah, it's working. So this is how you implement autocomplete, auto-populate, auto-source feature as in. So this is how you implement autocomplete feature as in Fipkart and Amazon into a laptop application in our Laravel application. So the code is provided in a description below the video. You can download that, you can tweak it, you can use it. So thank you so much for tuning in.